Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Jazzy-Bytes, the video game channel where we talk about all things video game related, with me, Jazz. I hope you're keeping well. So for this episode, I'm going to be talking about another one of my favourite consoles of all time. I'm going to be talking about the Sega Dreamcast. This was a phenomenal console. It was well ahead of its time. And in this short video, I'm going to be talking about the rise, the fall, and the subsequent resurrection of this console. As always, grab that cup of tea or coffee, sit back, relax, and hopefully enjoy. The Sega Dreamcast was released in Japan in November 1998 and was Sega's attempt at conquering the 6th generation console market. It was actually the first console entry in the 6th generation race. It was initially a success, but interest declined as the hype for Sony's PlayStation 2 gained momentum. The Dreamcast was discontinued in 2001, giving it a relatively short lifespan in terms of a new console from one of the then big players. After 18 years in the console market, Sega conceded defeat, and this was the last brand new console that Sega released to this date. As we don't talk about the Game Gear Micro around here, or maybe we would if it wasn't 200 gil for all 4 versions, and that being the only way to get the screen enhancer, along with it being a Japanese exclusive. In any case, the Dreamcast being retired and Sega dipping out of the console generations to make software was a hard pill to swallow. Me, like a few of my viewers, would have been raised on Sega. They helped make gaming cool and acceptable. I love my Sega Master System too. Friends had the Mega Drive. People with more money than I was able to make in a year had the Mega CD and 32X add-on, along with both of their games. The point being, the Dreamcast was one heck of a swan song of a console. It had a beautiful design, 4 controller ports, a VMU that served as a memory card and also had the ability to take games with you on the go, a built-in modem for online gaming. I believe the modem charged you a penny a minute if I remember rightly. Sega smashed it out of the park by offering Choo Choo Rocket as a free online game. It had a controller that gave you awkward cramps. I mean, please, don't just take my word for it. Does anyone remember E3 2000? Sega was sort of like a drunk, embarrassing but legendary favourite relative that seriously did not give a brown emoji with eyes what anyone else thought. They had music, they had chicks, they had Ooh La La from Space Channel 5, they had dancing, they had colours. Basically, it was like a funeral party that Sega knew that they would be snapped out of existence soon. Iconic franchises would be shipped out to other consoles. And the Xbox became the unofficial successor to the Dreamcast, with rumours at one point of cross-compatibility, but that's a video for another time. So the Dreamcast died a warrior's death, and should have been fighting with the Virtual Boy in the halls of Valhalla. Or did it? It is now the space year 2020. We are in the future. Marty McFly is trying not to destroy the fabric of time, Predator 2, which was set in the future, is now in the past, and Skynet has taken over. Or at least it would have done if broadband was generally a bit more reliable globally. And the Dreamcast is sort of thriving. The Dreamcast has enjoyed moderate success through the hacking and modding community, with clever coders making games for the console to this day. Here are 2 super duper easy mods for your Dreamcast. The first is the VGA cable, or as lemmings like me like to call it, a PC cable with screws. There are currently approximately 6.5 million ways to upscale your Dreamcast, but this is my personal recommendation. I could bore you with the technical specs, but just trust me, this is a cheap, easy and effective way to upscale the graphics on your console. You will need some kind of audio setup. I was lucky enough to have both a PC screw cable hole and an audio aux in hole, so there was no real dramas for me there. Okay, for your Dreamcast mod, you're going to want to remove the screws here, and underneath the modem. I've actually removed 3 out of the 4 just to save time for this video. I'm just removing the 4th screw now. Also, as highlighted, make sure that you've got the number 1 here on the silver label of the Dreamcast. If you do not, then this mod will probably brick your machine. So, carefully flip the Dreamcast over, and you should be able to quite easily crack the shell off the top now. Right, so you can see all the circuits, bits and pieces and wires underneath. What we're interested in is the optical drive. Now here, and here, you will find 3 screws that you want to remove in order to be able to remove that optical drive. You can just use a very slim star screwdriver to do this. I've actually had to use a second one with a magnet on there just so I don't lose the screws. Right, again I've removed 2 of those 3 prior to this video to save time, and then you're going to want to very carefully remove the... try not to knock your camera over while you do this. It makes for quite a shabby looking YouTube video, I must admit. Anyway, balance your camera properly. Lean right back in, and as I was just saying, try to gently and carefully remove that the optical drive. Should just come off in your hand like that now. Perfect. I would keep that. It could always come in handy later if you want to reverse mod this, then that's all good. Here is the GDEMU circuit board, as it were. You're going to want to have your ROMs on a memory card. Pop that straight in there. And these are the pins that you're going to want to attach. Really simple. Just over the top. Press down gently. And there you go. You can get little foot stands for this device as well, which do help. Then it's just a case of putting the shell back on the top and obviously tightening all the screws again. There you go, and you'll have easy access to the memory card from there. So yep, just the reverse of what you did at the beginning. Pop all the screws back in. A little bit of tightening, obviously don't do it too much, you will crack the plastic. And finally, just put the last screw in, the one that goes underneath the modem. And your modem will just clip back in quite nicely. There you go, you have one Dreamcast that is modded to run ROMs off of an SD card via the GDEMU circuit board. And just finally, I think I've got time to go through a few of my favourite games on this caster of dreams. Here we go. Well, I hope you appreciated that short journey into the life of the Dreamcast. Whether you've got a Dreamcast that's sat on the shelf gathering dust, or whether you're thinking of buying one now, I would thoroughly recommend it. It is not difficult to get the entire Dreamcast library onto one memory card. As always, I do not like and I do not endorse copyright theft or piracy. If you're going to go down this route, make sure you only put ROMs on the disc or disc rips from games that you already own. It's only fair to the brothers and sisters that created this kind of content originally. Guys, it's tough times. Make sure you take care of each other. Check in on that friend that you have not heard from a little while. They may be waiting for your call. Take care, peace out, and I'll see you the next time.